they sue them all the time. You guys don't see this. We see it all the time. Okay. And the reason they sue them is, say you were walking up the steps and they asked you to fix that step 14 times. You never got around to fixing that step. They fall, break their leg because that step was too high. Well, guess what? You're going to pay $1 million bill for that.
Welcome to Loans Elevated, the podcast that brings you the latest industry news, expert interviews, and insightful discussions that will help you stay ahead in this dynamic market. I'm your host, Broch Lassig, and I've spent years in the trenches of the mortgage industry, helping individuals and businesses navigate the complex landscape of real estate financing.
I'm your co-host, TJ Heidenreich, and together we'll cover a wide range of topics, from business strategies that skyrocket your success to mindset and motivation that fuel your growth. All right, we're back with another episode of Loans Elevated. Today we have the one and only Alan Johnson on the podcast. So Alan, we go back. He's actually a huge mentor in my business. He runs an awesome business in the insurance game. He's actually the #1 insurance agent in Utah. So Alan, first of all, thanks for being on the podcast, and thanks for being such a great mentor in my life.
Yeah, you're so welcome. And calling me a mentor, that's huge for me. So I love to hear that. But yeah. I think it's only because I'm a senior. So if I was where he's at his age, that would be another issue.
Oh, so. No, dude, I love it. Okay, so let's just cut right to it, man. Right now I'm getting questions everywhere on what's going on with insurance. It seems like premiums keep going up. What's the future for premiums?
So the future for premiums, it's going to dive down until about 2025. I mean, you're going to see them keep rising. And the big question is why are they rising?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and everybody has this question. If it was really up to people and they didn't mandatorily have to have insurance, nobody would have insurance. Okay. But I'm an insurance agent. I don't work off of, hey, how high can I make this person's premium? I work off, I want your referral and I want your family's referral. So that's how I work. So I'm a little bit different that way. But as far as premium, I mean, I hate going to this because everybody goes to it, but it's inflation. Inflation drives prices of premiums, and also accidents are happening in on the coast like Florida or California wildfires, things like that. The unfortunate thing about insurance is it's law of large numbers. Okay.
Gotcha.
Law of large numbers means what your neighbor does, you do. So as far as premium goes, okay? So your neighbor in Florida, which is obviously not your neighbor, being facetious, but your neighbor in Florida has a hurricane happen to their house. Well, that insurance agency that is representing that person in Florida, if they're also representing you in the state of Utah, unfortunately, that premium has to go up amongst everybody, not just the people in Florida.
Gotcha. And is that why you see some agencies getting out of certain states?
Oh, absolutely. So You're seeing a lot of agencies pull out of California, and you're seeing a lot of agencies pull out of Texas and Florida. Those 3 states are major reasons why premiums are being driven up right now.
Gotcha. No, that makes sense. Okay, another question. And actually, this comes from Broch. I want to FYI, Broch's not here. That son of a gun is on the beach somewhere. So this question comes directly from Broch. He wanted me to ask us. He says, why every time I call my agent, does he tell me to pay cash when I try to make a claim?
That is not the case. I am Broch's agent. I never ask him to pay cash.
He's got to throw him under the
bus.
bus.
If you ever do get an agent that does say, hey, let's pay cash, that is a huge red flag. That is commingling funds. Gotcha. So most agents that do ask for cash, that would be a commingling and a legal problem. So you never want an agent that asks for it. One, you most likely want to pay for it to put it on your credit card for miles and points. That's what I do. That's what Broch does. Yeah. That's what TJ does. That's what everybody that I insure do. I encourage miles and points. So if you can get miles and points, you might as well take some of the suck out of paying your premium for insurance.
Gotcha. And help us understand, what is good insurance, what they charge, etc.
Well, good insurance is dictated by the agent. So it's actually a good agent. So if you have a good agent, and it's kind of a hard question to ask, but you want an agent and you want an insurance agency that can actually help you with not paying premiums where you don't need to pay them, such as in homeowners insurance that I deal with a lot with TJ's customers and TJ himself. Homeowners is one of those points where a lot of people gouge you in certain areas, such as in your personal belongings and things like that. A lot of people don't have $700,000 in personal belongings, but that's what the insurance dictates that you have to have, because they have to work off of a percentage. My insurance company doesn't do that. So a good agent can detail and wrap that policy around you, rather than saying, hey, this is all we got, this is all we can offer you, and that's that, here's the premium. Okay. You want somebody that can tailor it to your specific needs. And that's what makes a good agent and a good insurance company.
Gotcha. Okay. Another question for you. Oftentimes right now, I mean, it seems like every single borrower right now with rates the way they are, they want to get all the savings wherever they can. We'll get near the finish line with closing their loan, and we'll get like homeowners insurance from people not you. And we'll see the quotes and like, yeah, it's higher than I thought. Then we estimate it. Then I'll send it to you. And the quote comes in back way better. Like it's within their price range. Is that just because they're bundling? You guys you're bundling their policy, or why is that you guys are able to beat a lot of people?
That's a great question, but there's a lot of answers to it. So bundling is actually one of them. So when I bundle your autos, cycles, anything that you have, even if you do throw in an umbrella or something, everything that we have gives you a discount, and there's no max discount for us. We don't max out your discounts. Everything you add, we keep adding those discounts. Okay. Gotcha. That's one of the reasons why, but also the reason we're lower in price, because we're in 19 states. Okay. Gotcha. We're not in all 50 states. These companies that are in all 50 states, American Family Insurance is very specific on the state that they choose, because they choose the states that don't have your hurricanes. They don't live in the tornado alley. So you don't take those losses. Like I said at the beginning, law of large numbers dictates that premium. Well, we take as many people as we can, and we condense that to the 19 states, not in the coastal states, not in the tornado alleys. And then we pass that savings on to you.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Okay, another question I actually got this morning from an investor that has a lot of properties. They were asking me if I knew if they could just get an umbrella policy for all their properties under one. Is that a thing?
Again, it's a tough question, because if they have a lot of properties under one LLC, have it under a different, I group them by LLCs.
Gotcha.
So in a lot of people that I have that have 40, 50 properties or whatnot, those people group them by LLCs, and that's the way you want to do it, because legally, that's how people are going to come after you, is after that LLC. You don't ever want to tie it to your name. It's either a trust or an LLC. So no, you do not want to umbrella every policy under your name. And the great thing about us packaging, let's say 7 properties under one LLC, every time you add a property, lowers the price of your other property. So fantastic with us. Gotcha.
And you're the leader in investment properties for single family. How have you done that? Is it just your matter of your clientele, or is it just you guys do something with investment properties per se?
Yeah, so investment properties, believe it or not, there's a lot of agents in the state of Utah, insurance-wise, that do not know how to cover investment properties properly. Okay. And if they don't know how to cover it, their company doesn't offer the correct coverage for it.
Gotcha.
2 major points you want to look at as an investment property. Does it have tenant income replacement, and does it have liability for your insured that lives in the space? Okay. So if they're renting it from you, long-term, short-term, it doesn't matter. You want to make sure if that place burns down, you're not picking up the bill for that. You want to make sure for that next 12 months or whatever it takes for your house to be rebuilt from that fire, you want to make sure that you're getting income that your tenant was paying you. And that's what our policy provides. And then the liability aspect. Okay. And a lot of people ask me, they say, hey, why is the liability so high? Why do I need? So this is the reason. Tenants sue their property managers or their whoever owns the home. They sue them all the time. You guys don't see this. We see it all the time. Okay. And the reason they sue them is, say you were walking up the steps and they asked you to fix that step 14 times. You never got around to fixing that step. They fall, break their leg because that step was too high. Well, guess what? You're going to pay $1 million bill for that.
Gotcha.
So that's one of the reasons you want to make sure you're insured, right? And 90% of the companies out there will give you a landlord policy. If you have a landlord policy, you have the incorrect policy. Make sure you get a real, what we call business owner policy.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Well, for anyone that's watching or listening, please reach out to Alan and just have him give you a second opinion on what your insurance looks like right now. I know he saved me money, even recently with my life insurance. What do you specialize in? You've got, sound off.
I specialize in everything. So obviously small businesses, I specialize HOAs, up to 1,000 apartment buildings and things like that. I specialize in all of that. I specialize home and auto, life insurance. If you got it, I can specialize in it. So, awesome. And that's why I'm the #1 agent in the state of Utah, is because I do specialize in everything, and I'm not I don't want to say that. So you're going to have to cut that. I'm not a one-trick pony.
There you go. Sweet. Awesome, guys. Well, join us for the next one. And thank you, Alan, for being here. We appreciate it.
No, thank you, TJ. And absolute best LO. If you go somewhere else, you're not going to the right person.
I'm going to tell Broch you said that.
Yeah. Tell Broch. Broch, you are included in that. TJ/Broch.
There you go.
TJ, whatever you want to put it.
Thanks, Alan. Thank you for tuning in. For more industry insights, follow us on all platforms at Loans Elevated.
And to get in touch with our team, call or text 801-713-4000 or visit loanselevated.com.